I'm catching up on some old ideas, and this one was still lingering about Cuomo's Wake Up America, Forget the Politics, Get Smart, New York Tough poster, where Forget the Politics is central, and he has Trump sitting in a reverse crescent moon saying it's just the flu. So forget the politics, but here's me trashing the president, is basically what he's saying. And this thing is just bizarre. Using art as a weapon, I always recommend, but this is pathetic. After crushing artists, the business of many artists, he decides to sell 15,000 prints of this thing that he's using, this propaganda piece, based on some other ones that he did in the past, which were one of them, or two of them, were done by this guy Rusty Zimmerman, who claims he didn't do this newest one. Although there's some elements that are pretty similar, and I can kind of see why he wouldn't want credit for this new one and would hide himself, because people like Cuomo tend to go back to the same artists, especially when they want a similar style that they like in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a lie, and that guy Rusty really did this. He just wants to try and save face or be neutral. So you go to the you can get the poster by going onto the state website, and then you have to leave the state website in order to get the poster, because he doesn't want to sell on do anything illegal. God forbid Cuomo do something illegal to profit, but yet he is. He definitely closed down every gallery, I'm sure, in New York City, probably all over the country. Not really his fault, but at least the ones in his city were his fault, while across the country galleries are being crushed, pillaged, almost becoming a lost art. And this guy likes to incorporate art, which again I also like, I have respect for. But so he's incorporating some local artists into things, but his intentions and whatnot were seen when what he did with the nursing homes, when he basically sentenced many to death in a contagious situation, and that just to get numbers, just to get more drama, just to get his little brother on CNN. Some more headlines and some interviews with the top dog in New York, who's actually terrible. And but I think the fact that he sold 15,000 of these is shocking. And but especially $15,000 at about 15 a piece is a lot of money. If I were to sell an artwork in that type of quantity, I'd be able to fulfill a lot of my dreams and potentially just to succeed tremendously. And so the company that he goes through, this printing company, is called Spectrum Designs, and they have connections to Google, ABC, Autism Speaks, and they claim to do a lot of donating to Autism Speaks and different autism causes, which I love. I've been a teacher for people with autism, of adults of all ages. I've taught everyone, and I love them. They are great people, amazing people who have been dealt a tough hand, and so that's good. I'll respect the printers for doing that, but their connection to Google and other things, Cuomo, is especially sinister. So there's a lot of different symbols here. The love wins, which is always what they say but don't preach. And then the rainbow all over the place. He loves that. Under the rainbow, you can actually see the eyes wide shut, like where the rainbow goes. There's something definitely sinister about that context that he probably used it in. And he takes different people that he likes and he kind of honors them while trashing the people that he doesn't, but claiming to be all about love and inclusiveness. And so he even took elements from old school artwork that you can see from the 1800s and even before, which I again appreciate. I respect that. And like the squid, different kinds of things like that represent kind of unknown beasts, unknown challenges, unknown hardships. And he took some elements from this artist back in the day, who did some presidential kind of artwork and things. So again, I respect the artwork, I respect the use of the artwork, I just don't respect the way he did it and the person who's doing it. An artwork has a good cause and good intentions, it is a beautiful thing. And when it doesn't, and it incorporates the kids who are off in space, the kids aren't even on the structure of the mountain, and all these different weird symbolisms and all these things, like he had the time and the mental strength, while his city was going to ruin, to just have a fun kind of creative session with whatever artist did that, and and really kind of think of different ways to symbolically put jabs in here and there. And that's what he was doing while his city was going to hell, and the crime rates skyrocketed, and the deaths in all over the place supposedly surged. Meanwhile, there's an empty. He demands all these things from Trump, all these ventilators, and an entire ship comes to his place. He doesn't even use it. He can't find enough people to basically continue his lie. The nursing homes and funeral homes are all starting to catch on. And this guy just kind of goes on TV with his brother who claims to have it, all this stuff. Just while this guy's planning art, different things, he's talking about he's got all these different ideas of how he can boost his ego, how he can kind of make jokes on the public, how he can make more money while other Americans suffer and while his city closes. You know, all these capitalists, they never stop. I guess they're trying to get as much as they can before they spend the rest of their lives in prison, which is where they all belong. And that tattoo, I don't even understand that, if that's real or not, but I hope no one would get this as a tattoo. So I give some respect to the artist and no respect to Cuomo. And even still, with the artist, you couldn't pay me a lot of money to do work for evil intentions. I would hate doing the drawing process if I knew the intentions behind it were not pure and not great, even if there's money. And I know what that's like to be a struggling artist. I am one. And so, you have to keep your dignity and your pride. And the art process is a beautiful, creative experience that tainting it with things like this and for sinister people is just something that I'm not willing to really compromise on. But either way, I respect art in general and the use of it for all purposes, even propaganda, positive pride instilling artwork. And that's what this is. And in order to end this video, I want to also include another proud American, Ted Nugent, who recently spoke on Alex Jones's show about how his show got canceled and he was threatened with arrest in New York City for doing a pro-police rally and festival and concert while him playing the Star Spangled Banner is banned. Cuomo does what he wants. So listen to Ted here and wish well to the people in New York, because they are dealing with some terrible government, and I hope it changes. I hope everything changes for the better. Let's get back to the old normal and make it a renaissance. Bless you all.
A fortune to get me and the good Congressman Clay Higgins to a pro-law enforcement rally, a pro-law and order rally. The biggest one. It was purported to be the biggest pro-law enforcement, law and order rally in the history of America. They were expecting over 10,000 people because Uncle Ted was going to bring my six-string weapon of mass construction and perform a fire-breathing Star-Spangled Banner for the troops and boost their morale at a time where the Marxist, Democrat, Antifa, MS-13, Black Lives Matter monsters have destroyed the morale of the law enforcement sheepdog heroes across this country. Most heartbreakingly now, as we witness the great heroes of the New York Police Department. So we were ready to go. Like I said, my buddy jetted us up there. I had the guitar and amp. We had the good congressman. We had great law enforcement heroes and their families gathering. And I literally was threatened by Governor Cuomo and his hand-picked Marxist health department Nazis that if I set foot in New York to play the national anthem and thank the law enforcement heroes, if I dare enter his communist New York area, I would be put under house arrest and quarantine for 14 days, thereby destroying the only chance to have a morale boost by the heroes of the NYPD, and boy, are they pissed.
And I'm just speechless at this point that he literally says communists can march, you can attack the police, they beat up the police commissioner, and the news called it peaceful. I mean, this is crazy. And then now you'll be arrested, you'll be placed on house arrest, you'll be kidnapped.